I'm not good at math, but here lately I've been counting a lot of things, and at this point I've lost count of all my failures I'm tracking. It seems like we're always keeping track of the things we don't do right, or things we feel like we're failing, or whatever. But how often do we actually keep track of our wins? Not very often, because most things we don't see as wins. Because whether it's ourselves or somebody else, telling us it's not good enough, or it doesn't count, whatever, it's like some days seems like all you do is fail, but most of it's just perceived failures, because it's, like we keep talking about, we're not giving ourselves the break that we deserve. Talk about self-love and self-care, and about the way we talk to ourselves, but the things that we keep track of too. And I know a lot of you, if you're like me, it seems like most people only notice when you mess up, or when you don't, whatever, meet their crazy expectations. And then that you start to put those expectations onto yourself. And it just makes everything harder. It makes everything more exhausting. It makes you dwell on stuff more, which is very exhausting, because dwelling on it is not going to do anything but make you feel worse. It's not going to help you come up with any solutions. You're just going to loop. And we've been talking about, you might feel like you're looping over the same thing, but you're also healing it in layers. But you can loop in the same layer if you're dwelling on it. So stop dwelling on what you see as a failure. I know some days, like, I'll have however many things planned that I want to accomplish, and some days I will only get one thing done, and I'll see the whole day as a failure. But it's not. I still got something done. Because think about it. Think about the days where you might only have one or two things planned to do, and you don't do any of it. But, maybe that day's not a failure either, because maybe you just need to rest that day. And that's sometimes, like we say, the most productive thing you can do. So today I'm going to write down, my list of wins. Sometimes the biggest win is just processing something, just getting through it, recognizing your pain or your anger, whatever it is. Don't worry about what anybody else is saying or doing or thinking. They don't even know what's good for their own lives. Don't let them tell you what's good for your life, All right. So today I'm going to write down 11 wins. And it's going to take me some time to sit down and think about it, but I'm going to put thought into it. Because I heard somebody say something one time. It's like, you list all your blessings or the things that you love or are happy about, but, are you on that list? Do you put yourself on that list that of things that you're grateful for? Thank your body. Wake up, thank your body for getting up again today. It might hurt. It might be heavy. whatever, but you know, it's carrying you through so much more than anybody realizes, and even more than you realize. I know you know what you're going through, but you still don't realize how much you're going through. And that's one thing people just don't realize so much about themselves, so they judge themselves so much, and then that causes them to judge others because they're putting these expectations on them, and they don't realize that they can just chill out and kind of figure out life for themselves and not force them into, you know, the Matrix rule. Bullshit. But anyway, so why don't you do that today? And it doesn't have to be 11 things. Start with just a few things. Something, you know, that you should be proud of yourself about. Something, you know, also, we don't give our pain enough attention and enough care and enough love. So, you know, thank yourself for your pain. Thank your pain. Because if you weren't in pain, you know, not talking about physically, your heart, your emotional pain, as much as it sucks, if we didn't have that pain, we wouldn't recognize the good things. Also, if you didn't feel pain in your heart, maybe you're not feeling enough. So thank yourself, even, you know, thank your pain for being there. Give it the attention it deserves. Acknowledge it. And then write down what you're grateful for getting through today. Let me know in the comments what you're doing. Stay shiny.